okay, I'm gonna stop trying to be a perfectionist with how this is all set up. This is gonna be a little bit of a word splat, I think. But that's what I need right now. Maybe that's what you need too. I love when I find random ass YouTubers that I've never seen before and they're doing like a little bit of a word vomit thing, but it's somehow exactly what I needed to hear in the moment. So maybe this will be that for somebody. That would be tight. Let me know. I am simultaneously at what I feel is one of the most personally developed stages of my selfhood, of learning how to be myself, learning how to work with who I am, learning how to engage with life and how to orient myself to the universe. And I feel like a dumb bitch, you know, like I'm so frustrated with myself for continuing to do certain things, especially now that there is this juxtaposition between having this really solid wisdom and clarity about the things that I need to do to get to where I want to be. And then I just do the opposite of that. Like I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to myself for building myself up, doing the inner work that I need to do in order to have that clarity of mind, the clarity of steps. But I'm also so frustrated with myself, and I'm just like, why am I like this? Like, why do we go on autopilot? Why did we revert back to these weird patterns that really don't seem to be doing a whole lot of good for us? Like I did the artist's way. I did stop ahead of time, like ahead of completion, because Julia Cameron's writing voice was getting on my nerves. And I was just like, I can't stand to read this woman anymore. Even though it was very helpful. Like, The Artist's Way was one of the best things that I've done for myself in a long time. But I think because I stopped having like a program that I could link my actions to, at least for that period of time, things kind of started to lose their grip on the path, or like let's call it the path that I was really enjoying being on. Was it uncomfortable? Yeah, very uncomfortable. In fact, I'm noticing that a lot of the things that I need to do in order to get to where I want to be are generally pretty uncomfortable. But there's a really great satisfaction in doing them because I'm showing up to the things that I am dreaming about in those times that I am not doing them. And when I was doing The Artist's Way, I also like got off of social media for a bit. I think I might have like put a YouTube video up or two or something like that. But like I wasn't doing the Instagram thing. I wasn't doing any TikTok. I'm still not doing any TikTok. It's a bit much a lot of the time. But Instagram is almost worse because at least people in TikTok like talk to you, and Instagram is like full of watchers. And I really don't like being watched. I like being seen. Thank you for seeing me. I don't like being watched. Being watched feels like somebody is waiting for me to slip up. And honey, I got that covered. I do that for myself enough. I do not need any like Hinge dates from the past 4 years to like watch me and wait for me to fuck up. I don't think I was on Hinge 4 years ago, but whatever. And like, yeah, anyways, during that time, I was off social media. I was doing the artist dates, which is just like taking yourself out and like taking your inner artist really seriously and creating this designated space and time to just be with yourself and encourage that inner artist. And I was just getting like lightning strikes of inspiration all the time. And I really do believe that a big part of that was clearing up the mental space that was previously taken up by constantly sort of absorbing things on Instagram or Reddit or, whatever. And now it's all fucked up again. Like, it's all. Like, I thought that I could return to Instagram and be like, oh, God, I'm like feeling so balanced from having this time away. And I'm going to take this with me back into the thing, back into the fray, and we're going to be strong this time and we're not going to let it take a hold of us. Engineers are really smart. Somewhat unfortunately in the realm of social media, in the realm of things that have the little red balloon dots that let you know that something is happening that you might want to pay attention to. You have a new notification. Somebody liked the thing. A crowd full of people just liked your thing. How do you feel about that? Well, I always feel not enough, actually. And I think that's a pretty universal thing, and it's very strange. I don't like it. And God, I hope I can phrase this. And I'm just like having this constant, like it's been constant since I've been here, but it's been more obvious within the past like month or two for some reason. This constant struggle between trusting that clear intuition and direction, trusting that the universe has my back, because she has been. She really, really has been. It's me who most of the time does not have my own back. Trusting that enough to not grasp so strongly, so tightly, onto my life and like trying to direct it in a way that it's only grasping. It's not actually control. It's just the illusion of control. So let me give you a very embarrassing example. I'm lonely. I'm very lonely. I've been lonely since I moved up here. I have made some friends. I only really hang out with one person. Well, maybe a couple people. Okay. But one person in particular often. And they are great. I am very thankful for them. It's really good to have one really great friend who knows you really well. But still, I'm lonely. And I don't have, this is where it gets a little complicated. I don't have a romantic partner who is present. I have a person who sometimes is around, but let's say I've only seen them twice within like 2 or 3 times within like 9 months. That's not, that's not your person. That's a great friend that you sometimes have lovely romantic times with. But I've had an overwhelming, especially recently, for some reason, like it's just been so much grasping is going on. An overwhelming response to this loneliness, trying to fill in that gap and just like constantly, like just hopping from dating app to dating app, swiping on Hinge relentlessly, going through all of the people on Bumble, then deleting it, and then reinstalling it, and then deleting, and it's just like this cycle of like graspingness. And I did have a moment in time where I was like, I give up. Fuck this. And I got off. And then I got back on my path. And I was just like, I'm just going to focus on this. I'm going to do the next logical steps required of me to do what I need to do in a totally separate area of my life. And you know what happened? I found somebody. And it happened in a really natural way that I would not have expected. And I did not have to control anything until I did, and then I lost them. Which is probably for the better, to be honest. But like still, this is just sort of like an example of what I believe will happen once I stop it again this time. I just think that that's the way that it works, is like the universe is like a spider web. Okay, I'm kind of going everywhere. Hopefully you can follow somewhat. The universe is like a spider web to me. This is the best way that I can theorize it, is to how like manifestation works, to how magic works in general. I'll go with magic. This is how magic works in general to me. So you know how a spider knows when prey is in its web. The fly flies into the web, a vibration is sent down the web, and the spider senses it, and it comes because it's like, I feel a vibration, that means I should be called to go this direction to get the thing. And I think magic kind of works in a half practical, half mysterious way, where you take the practical step sends out a vibration along the web of the world, and something on the other end of that vibration, like further down in some direction, feels that, picks up on that, suddenly feels, I feel like called to go this direction, or like suddenly I'm like overwhelmed by the desire to blank, and it goes. And then it happens, and you meet each other somewhere in the middle, but only if you take that practical step, right? That is, in my experience, how this has worked for me. And maybe it works in different ways for other people, but that is, I think, kind of how it has best shown itself to me. I think I'm somebody who needs practicality. I can't just be in my head and lazing about and just like things come to me. That's boring. I want to do stuff. So yeah, I need that practicality. There's other people who are lotus eaters and who desire that life of just being, I don't know, like they don't do anything and yet stuff comes. I'm not into that. I want to be a doer. I get anxious, you know. I like to have action that I can take. And that's kind of the fraught struggle right now, is taking practical steps to sending out these vibrations of like, hey, I'm here. This is where I want to go. Dearest thing on the other side of my vibration, please find me. You know, and it has, I think little by little, things really have been working, even while I'm frustrated, even you know, while I'm grasping at other things, other vibrations have had their thing come to meet it. You know, I was in a much darker apartment than this one. The light's darker right now because it's, yeah, but it was pretty tiny, and I was like, I need light, and I got that light, like, in a way that I wouldn't have expected, just by showing up and doing what was natural, actually. And what was natural was like bonding with the person who had previously lived in this apartment, and then lo and behold, all of a sudden they were moving out, and I was like, I like your apartment. I would love that apartment. And I got that apartment. And here I am, and I didn't have to like struggle for it. It was just like the fruits of friendship, you know, the friendship seeds that I had sown. So yeah, I'm just like frustrated with myself right now. I'm definitely being too hard on myself because everything is kind of fucking overwhelming anyways in the world right now. Also, I'm very caffeinated. I work at a coffee shop. It's just what happens. And so I'm speaking quite like spiritedly around this. Yeah, I want to tell myself, hey self. I'm telling myself right now it's happening. Hey self, you doing so good. I know you want the best for all of us. That includes everybody out here. That includes all of the different parts of me in here. But honey, you need to chill out and just study and be alone. That's the fucking part that gets me. I don't like being alone. Well, I do. I live alone. I live alone on purpose because I don't like living with other people unless they're like my person. But you gotta be alone in order to master the art of consistently returning to yourself, to master the art of consistently loving yourself relentlessly, loving yourself so hard, so dear, just in the ways, exactly in the ways that you would love your ideal human. To master consistently showing up to the work that will bear the fruits that you want to see. I really need to get a new bra. This is fucking, look at this. This is like 3 years old. She's struggling. Yeah, it's just, I'm a human. It's the whole human thing. We love to act like things are within our control, and certain things are. We're in control of the actions that we decide to take for ourselves. Are we in control of the outcome? No. And I think part of me really wants to be in control of the outcome of the actions that I'm taking. And that is hard for me to accept. But I will, damn it. Because it's what's good for me. And I really want what's good for me right now. I've been doing pretty fucking good. I'm in a way better place than I was a year ago. God. Oof. And this is where I really need to be like easy on myself. Where were you a year ago? I hope you're doing better. I mean, if you were in a presumably worse place. Sorry for presuming, but you know. It's been a struggle. We'll say that. I do believe that we can do it. I really do. We can. I'm talking to you. Talk to me. It's very hard to stay focused in this life anymore. And I think protecting that focus can feel extremely selfish, which in turn makes you feel kind of lonely. And also, like, maybe you're doing something wrong, or like maybe you're not being enough of a community-oriented person. Communities have hermits too, you know. You can be a bit of a hermit. Okay, I guess that's it. Maybe? Is there something else? My chest is like, I feel like it's trying to direct me to say a thing, but I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Focusing. See? I've been asking myself lately, and it's been hard for me to get the focus enough to sit down and answer this question. But I've been asking myself lately, who would I want to be if all of this sort of like extra fluff or extra distraction didn't matter, wasn't around? Objectively, I really don't think it does matter. But subjectively, me being the subject, I can attribute meaning to distraction, right? And sometimes that meaning is really hard to let go of because it's like intertwined with my self-concept. I love my community, therefore I show up for my community with my art. And if I don't, then I'm just being selfish and not doing enough, you know. That's just an example. Yeah. But what would you do? Who would you be if there was no social media? If there were no dating apps and you weren't flicking through them? If those people that you're constantly having invisible knife fights with in your head, invisible arguments with in your head, didn't exist, or if they just like loved you, like, if it was assured, if it was guaranteed, and this is a sad one, but I think it's important, if it was guaranteed that you're gonna die alone, how would you live your life? What would you do? what would I do? Hard questions, right? I think I'd probably be a lot slower. I think I'd probably read more books. I almost feel like that's kind of a generic answer, but yeah, but I would, and I think my body wouldn't be in as much pain as it usually is because I wouldn't be rushing so much, because I wouldn't be like trying to fit things so much into this made up schedule that I've devised in my head for like the chronological timeliness that things should be happening by, I guess, the deadlines that things should be happening by, that things should be coming to meet me, that I should be achieving some sort of level, even though I haven't even like clearly defined that level in my head yet, maybe. I think I'd probably drink less coffee. I might still be really horny. What would I do with that though? I think I would maybe be able to direct it in more healthy ways, you know. Questions to think about, and yeah, I'll be sitting with those. I do hope that the schism that lies between you, me, and this surrender to our inner knowing closes up more and more. Closes up in a good way, as in disappears, so that it's just like me, inner knowing, boom, we do it. Amazing. I need that. But also, getting distracted is a little fun sometimes. Getting distracted for a long period of time, though, not so fun. You know, everything in its own sense of balance. I have to pee now, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to shut this off. Well, I'm going to shut this off before, and then I'm going to edit this video. Yeah. Godspeed you.